Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're going to be covering the hex price from a different angle, the fractal we've been looking at, and these weekly candles that led up into this expansion phase, right? So if you like this kind of hybrid technical quantitative analysis, leave a thumbs up, be subscribed by the end of the video if you aren't already, and let's go ahead and analyze these charts. So in previous videos, we've talked about this potential fractal playing out where we had our, you could call this a cup and handle, right? Where you have your cup, you have your handle. Once you find support on this neckline, so to speak, then it's blast off, right? And we've seen it twice. We saw it play out back over here. We had your cup and handle, or your cup, rather, your handle, support, blast off. Over here again, cup, handle, support, blast off. And so the lens via which I wanted to analyze this today was actually the size of these weekly charts that were our blast off period, so to speak, right? And this isn't my idea. A good friend of mine actually brought this up, and I thought it was a really, really good idea to cover this because he was saying, hey, look over here, this candle right here, absolutely massive, and it looks almost like we're playing out like this. Right, like this one back here where it's just a massive candle that kind of was bigger than previous candles for a while. And so if we take a measured move with our price range tool of this first candle, we're going to take a look at once we decisively broke all-time highs. Because, for example, even though this candle broke all-time highs, it was smaller. It was like a 10 to 20% candle. This one was actually what started taking us to our new paradigm, so to speak. So this candle here was 212%, okay? And it was followed by a 101% weekly candle. These are weekly candles, remember that. And I'm taking it from the bottom to the top of the candle, and then the next one was a 113% candle. If you take it from just the body here, it's about 84%. And then the final candle that took us to our local top was approximately 54%. So what do we have? We have 200, we're going to round here, okay? We have 200%, 100%, 100%, 50%. Pretty clean. 200, 100, 50, 50. So what's actually going on today? Well, I'll consider this candle here to be sort of like this one here, where even though we are approaching all-time highs, and this one, for example, actually blew past all-time highs, it wasn't really until this candle that we decisively broke into a new regime, new paradigm, so to speak. And so if we take a look at this candle here, we see that it already closed, right, at 108%. So is it a 200% candle? Not necessarily, right? Price didn't triple in the week, but rather within this weekly candle, it more or less doubled. Okay? So I guess one analysis you can take on this is, well, since this candle back here was more or less half of this initial breakout candle, what if we just continued this fractal on and considered that maybe each following candle is just going to be half of the size in appreciation that these candles were back here? So just to explain that a little easier, it's what if instead of 200, 100, 150, we have half of that on every candle because we already played that out once. So again, this is pure speculation, never financial advice in these videos. Make sure to do your own research, your generic disclaimer here. But let's take a look at what that would look like, okay? So if we were to have another candle that mimics something like over here, let's say what if we had a 50% candle? Again, we're cutting these in half. So instead of a 200% candle, we already had a 100% candle. Now, what if instead of a 100% candle, we had a 50% candle? Well, that would look something like, I'm just taking it out here just to actually get the numbers, 5.5 pennies. If we were to have a 50% candle, then we would close the week at 5.5 pennies. Reasonable, given our trajectory. And then from there, if from the 5.5 penny mark, we were to do, again, another 50% candle move on the weekly, that would put us at the end of May at around 8.5 pennies per hex. And then our final oomph that took us to the about 60% of a penny region back here in May of last year. Wow, it's already been a year. Then it would be something more like a 25% move, right? Because we're taking just half. And this idea of taking half right? It talks to diminishing returns a little bit. with the idea that we might not pump as hard, right? Price might not move up as hard and fast as it did back here, which makes sense, right? But, you know, it can still do similar things. And so, again, this is just sort of a thought experiment. What if we were to reach a 25% move after that last one? Then that would be putting us at 10 pennies, okay? And 10 pennies is definitely a psychological level that will it provide resistance? I mean, maybe. I can't really tell you for sure. All I know is that we achieved parity with a penny a while back, and it didn't really act as resistance. Funny enough, it acted more so as this area of oscillation, because we did blast above a penny here, beneath it, above it, beneath it. So we definitely oscillated around it. Recently, we had our 5 penny pump. Look at that. Filming this video, and we are at 5 penny hex, pumped up to 5266. So now you see how this 5.5 penny by end of week is very reasonable, especially because we just started the week a few days ago. So could these projections be completely wrong? 100%. Like price could play out completely different than what I'm saying here. It can. I'm stumbling over my own words here. It can play out very, very differently than anything I say. I just want you guys to remember that, because I know these charts are fun. I know it's cool to look at projections from different angles and whatnot, but this is just a what if, right? This is a big what if. What if this fractal played out damn near identically with moves half the size of moves back here? All right, so that would put us at 10 pennies by the end of by the beginning of June, more or less. And as I was saying, we reached parity with a penny. We can check that off. Reached parity with a nickel, literally like a few minutes ago. Maybe we can check that off. And so the next obvious target is 10 pennies, right? Like, if we look at our regression rainbow, then we can see that, and these aren't updated for today yet, but they will be soon. If we look at where 10 pennies would put us, well, that would put us at around, let's look at the log scale. I think we've covered this in the past. If we were to reach 10 pennies by, let's say, early June, that would more or less correspond to this green regression curve, but really it'd be between the yellow and the green. So, and that speaks to something else, right? Like, these regression curves are more or less arbitrary. Other than this bottom one, which is definitely not arbitrary, like the whole exponential fit is this bottom red curve, right? We have price bottoms fit to this red curve. So this red curve is significant, right? It's mathematically significant, statistically significant. This pink curve, a little less so, because it's fit to this single level of overvaluation and then projected outwards with the same curvature. But what I was getting at was every level in between is more or less arbitrary. And I do need to point that out, because the choice to break this down into, 7 colors, completely arbitrary. Could you not have just had, again, red curve, significant, pink curve, significant, but could you not have had just a single green curve? Yeah, definitely, just like a midline. Sure. Or could you have split this up into, instead of, say, how many colors we have in between the boundaries, 5 colors. Could you have chosen 4 colors? Sure. 3, 2. It doesn't matter, really. The only reason I chose to do, a set of 7 colors was because obviously a rainbow is characterized by 7 colors. I thought it would look nice, other than be statistically, or rather be mathematically significant. I thought it also be cool for it to look nice, right? So just with that said, I pointed that out because, like I was saying, 10 pennies is between the yellow and the green. So could we literally just stop here in between the yellow and the green and consolidate? Sure, because these inner levels don't have as much significance as these outer levels. Okay, just definitely wanted to point that out. But holy shit, guys, we're at 5 pennies. A lot of the Hex community is saying this feels surreal, like a dream. I can imagine. May you enjoy these mad gains. Definitely unreal. Let's look at how much the price has moved since the past 14 days. We're almost up 4x, right? We're almost up 300% on a 2-week time frame or so. Really, really good stuff. All right, so make sure to check out these charts here at lookintohex.com. We have people retweeting them left and right. I think they're liking it. So a lot of cool charts. Again, your regression rainbow from on different scales. Your Hex versus Bitcoin, Hex versus Ether, your good old heat maps. Look at this. Holy. Hex is definitely keeping track with Bitcoin. Well, more so, right? It's kind of a little ahead. It's almost looking like it's having this peak here that Bitcoin had back here. Very cool. Very cool. So, yeah, with that said, if you enjoy this kind of hybrid technical quantitative analysis, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Be subscribed by now if you haven't subscribed already. Check out the site, lookintohex.com. It's free. Again, you don't even have to subscribe down here. Like, we've had a bunch of people enter their email and hit submit and subscribe, and so I have a list of emails now, which I don't know if I'm going to use them anytime soon, right? I don't think I will, really. I have nothing really to market to you guys or to say, because I have this platform, right? I use Twitter and YouTube to really, get my message across to y'all. So I don't think I will be using this, but hey, if you guys want to subscribe, sure, why not? Maybe in the future we'll be dropping something cool and relevant to having your email. So I don't know. Just so just wanted to point that out, that you don't have to sign up to use these charts. You can just, again, go to lookintohex.com and check them out. Here we have links to obviously YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. And here is a donation address, which again, completely optional. The only reason I actually put this down here was because we've had people ask, right? Like, do you have an address I can donate to? Do you have an address I can donate? I got a few of those to where I was like, you know what? Let's just put it down there. Again, completely optional. And at the end of the day, right? If it's not obvious what I would be using that for, just think about it a bit, right? Kind of like the origin address, like no expectation of profit from the work of others. You can't be putting money into a common pool with expectation for my profit. But I definitely do have a favorite coin, right? So yeah, with that said, guys, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Appreciate you watching, and I will catch you in the next video.